Have you ever wondered why some people pay off their debt and still end up broke 6 months later? Same income, same discipline, same effort. The answer almost always comes back to one thing. They did the steps in the wrong order. I paid off the same credit card 3 times in 4 years. The first time, I felt incredible. 2 weeks later, my truck needed work, back on the card. 6 months after that, I paid it off again. Same thing happened. Third time, same result. That's when I finally understood the problem wasn't discipline, it was sequence. Nobody had ever shown me the right order, and getting it wrong cost me years. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which comes first, the emergency fund or the debt, and the specific number that tells you when the answer flips. Let's get into it. The reason people end up broke after paying off debt isn't usually lack of effort. It's because they removed the debt but kept the underlying vulnerability. No buffer, no protection. One unexpected expense and the whole thing resets. That's the real pattern. And once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. Drop a comment if you've ever paid off a card and found yourself right back on it 6 months later. You're not alone, and there's a very specific reason it keeps happening. Now let's talk about the psychological traps, because this is where most people actually go wrong, not in the math, but in their own heads. Trap 1 is the comfort blanket illusion. A large emergency fund feels safe, responsible. But if you're carrying high-interest debt, that big balance in your savings account is doing psychological work for you while quietly costing you money every single day. The feeling of security is real, the math behind it is broken. Trap 2 is the payoff and recharge cycle, the one I know personally. You work hard, pay off the card, feel incredible for about 2 weeks, and then something comes up. No cash buffer means it goes right back on the card. Then you're demoralized, the balance comes back, and the cycle repeats. $1,000 sitting in a separate account would have broken that cycle for me years earlier than it did. Trap 3 is analysis paralysis. 5 different opinions, no decision, and the interest keeps compounding while you think about it. A slightly imperfect plan you actually execute beats a perfect plan you never start. Trap 4 is lifestyle creep after a payoff win. You free up cash flow, and gradually that freed up money gets absorbed into spending. This is how people pay off debt and still feel broke.
Now here's the number you've been waiting for. For most people today, it's around 5%. That's the crossover point. If your debt interest rate is above roughly 5%, and most credit cards are sitting at 18, 22, sometimes 26, then aggressively paying down that debt gives you a better guaranteed return than parking money in savings. You're earning 4 or 5% over here while paying 22% over there. Every dollar sitting in that savings account is costing you roughly 18 cents a year. An emergency fund in that scenario isn't a safety net, it's an anchor. Flip it. If your debt is low interest, a federal student loan at 4%, a car loan at 3.5%, a mortgage at 6%, and you have zero savings buffer, you're one unexpected expense away from putting new debt on a credit card. You traded a 4% problem for a 20% one. Below 5%, build the emergency fund first. Above it, attack the debt.
But here's where it gets interesting, and where most advice gets too rigid. The hybrid approach works better than going all in on either side. A $0 emergency fund is genuinely dangerous. Your car doesn't care about your debt payoff plan. So what you want is a small buffer first, not $10,000, just $1,000 to $2,000, and then redirect everything else at your highest interest debt until it's gone. Once that's cleared, build the full emergency fund. This is where the math and the psychology actually meet. Here's the sequence that puts it all together. Step 1, list every debt with its balance and interest rate. Just get the facts visible. Step 2, build a $1,000 to $2,000 starter buffer before anything else. This is your protection against restarting the cycle. Step 3, take every dollar above minimum payments and attack your highest interest debt first. The avalanche method wins on math. Step 4, once the high-interest debt is gone, build your full 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Now's the right time because you're no longer bleeding interest. Step 5, redirect those freed up payments into investing and let compounding do the work. 5 steps, that specific order.
What step are you starting from right now?
Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where most people in this community are sitting. The goal isn't to become debt-free. The goal is to stay debt-free, and that's why the order matters. Know the crossover rate, build the small buffer first, eliminate the high-interest debt aggressively, then stack your savings. Do it in that sequence and you will come out ahead. In the next video, we're going deeper on where that money goes once the debt is cleared and the savings are built, specifically how to start investing on a working-class income without putting it in the wrong accounts in the wrong order. That sequence matters too.
See you in the next one. Let's build some wealth.